lights that burn so brightly in the northeast sky they shine, from the place that Geordies worship, where legends wear number 9. You can travel right round the world, even meet the Pope in Rome, but nothing beats the feeling of when you come back here to home. No matter how life changes, we'll never be far apart. The northeast always home, and it's always in your heart. Take me home to the banks of the River Tyne. Take me home to the place that I call mine.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to It's All Black and White TV. And yeah, it's a transfer show, deal or no deal, just like the game show, isn't it? But yeah, guys, very good afternoon to everybody joining on. If you like what you see, please smash the like button. It really does help the channel up the search results, so smash those likes. Thank you very much, guys. Also, if you're brand new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button. Free to do so, helps the channel grow. Bell notification tells you when I'm live, have a pre-record, or any upcoming shows. Yes, guys, a lovely sunny Sunday afternoon where I am at the moment. Before I get into the show properly, I just want to say congratulations to Chris Dobey, who I had on my show on Wednesday evening. If you saw that show, he's now in the semi-finals of the Masters. That's on tonight from 7 p.m. on ITV4, and he will play Michael Smith. So our Geordie boy has got all the way through the semi-finals and a win tonight, and he gets into the final tonight as well. So come on, Chris Dobey, do it for the tune. Come on, lad. Come on. We're all cheering you on. I'll be watching you tonight, mate, and hopefully you can get past Michael Smith, the world champion, and yeah, that would be fantastic. And also, if you can win this tournament, it may actually help them get into the Premier League darts as well. So come on, Chris, you've got to do it for the Geordies. Come on. Let's make it a double this year. Let's hope we get the Carabao Cup. You win tonight. Looks all great up north, doesn't it? Black and white. So come on, Chris. Good lad. Before getting the show, I've got some comments flying in now. Can I just first of all say, yesterday I do apologise for putting the panics up anybody yesterday. As you can see, I'm absolutely fine. Had a technical glitch. I tried to delete this on the Friday because for some reason YouTube duplicated it, and so as I tried to delete it, it wouldn't let me, and eventually I got to delete it yesterday as the show was due to start. And I know a lot of people were asking where I was, and I know Ches DM'd me to make sure I was all right, and I said yes, I'm absolutely fine. It was just something beyond my control, unfortunately. But yeah, so sorry if I put anybody under a bit of frighteners, but I'm absolutely fine. Ian says, "How are you, Tony? Hope you're good, mate." Yeah, I'm cheers, Ian. Thank you very much. Thank you very. And Chaz says, "Hey, Tony, hope you're well." Yeah, absolutely, mate. Thank you very much. Well, indeed. Afternoon, Tony, says Ian. Good afternoon, Ian. I hope you're well. I like coffee. Hey, Trolls. Hey, Tony. Hi, Trolls. Hope you're well. Don't need each other. Blakey says Madison next. Well, we'll get on to that. June Revival, cheap improving left back, not a bad deal, even if it's a bust win-win. He's played 5 Premier games worth 10 million. I'm going to get into Harrison Ashby. Seems we might be getting big Ashley too. And Martin's joined on. Afternoon, Tony. Hope you're well. How are the lads? Yeah, good afternoon, Martin. Nice to see you, mate. Thank you very much. If you're new, please hit the subscribe and smash the like there. Lovely. And Mason, apparently we're after Burge along with Fulham. Would you take him? Yeah, we'll get into that one as well, guys. I mean, so the most recent breaking news, I mean, yes, this guy, well, there's almost much saying, just hasn't been confirmed by the club yet. But I think we all know he's signed. He was obviously doing his media duties and everything yesterday after passing his medical for a fee of 40 million, which is paid straight out, plus 5 million in add-ons. I still think this is going to be a cracking deal, and I think he's going to prove a lot of people that he can cut it at a bigger club than Everton. And with the style of football we play, he'll fit into our team really well. I've got a feeling about that. And I think Eddie Howe will make him a better player. So, yeah, so once it's confirmed, I'm sure we'll all be happier when Anthony Gordon's through the door. Because, to be fair, we're just waiting of the announcement coming from the club. So hopefully that's sometime today. If it's not today, it's going to definitely be tomorrow. But I can't see why they want to delay it any further. But yeah, the breaking news that obviously this morning we heard breaking news coming from Keith Downey, and that was West Ham have accepted our bid for Harrison Ashby, who will provide great cover for Kieran Trippier. Young Scotsman, looks a talent. The weird thing is, this must have been done yesterday because apparently on his Instagram, I think it was, he removed all his West Ham pictures. So it looks like Harrison Ashby is on his way for a medical, and barring anything wrong with that medical, he'll be good to go as our third signing of this window. So it should be interesting to see what Harrison Ashby brings to us. But, you know, yes, he hasn't played a lot of games for West Ham, but still, he's young. He's got time to grow. That's the thing. He's only 21, 5'10". No outstanding strengths or weaknesses. He's only played one game this season. He played 89 minutes for West Ham. But, you know, the guy's got time on his side, and he's going to be under a good manager in Eddie Howe. So, yeah. So we wait developments on this deal. But so far, as per Sky, Keith Downey and Dharma Sheth, this guy is on his way. So this could be our third signing. Talking about new signings in, Grant Kowal's currently playing as a second half substitute for Hearts. And I've been watching a little bit of that game, and he's not done too bad. He's been threatening the Livingston defence and giving them something to think about. So this kid's going to be great. And he must hate be playing on that pitch at Livingston. What an awful pitch it is, that plastic pitch. I thought they were banned, but obviously they can still use them, and he's probably not enjoyed playing on that. So let's get back to some of the comments. Good afternoon, all. How are you the tune? Harrison Ashby. Mighty Mag says Sefton. Yeah, absolutely Sefton. Good afternoon to you. People talking to each other there. Scooby-Doo is some darts player, Tony, says Mark. Isn't he? He's not a bad player at all, is he? You know, Chris Dobie, I mean, yes, he had a few moments where he was a bit, he could see it, but I think when he got that 140 checkout against this player, Dirk, the Dutchman just folded after that. I think it just knocked his confidence. And Dobie went on to win comfortably 10-5, and he's done really well, because considering you knocked out the Masters champion on Friday night, Joe Cullen, so, you know, he's done really well. Do you think Manquillo will be out the door if we do sign him, says Mason? I'm not sure. I'm not sure, Mason. That's a funny one. But then it's experienced, right? And he can play right and left, can't he? So I don't know. It depends if he wants to use Lewis as cover for left back, or if he wants to keep Manquillo to cover both flanks. So that's an interesting one, Mason. So we'll find out. Ian says Gordon still classes an under 21, so does he not need to be in the 21-man Prem squad? I'm not sure. I don't think so. No, if he doesn't, then that's another great deal, isn't it? Because it frees up another space. For 3 million in add-ons as a bargain, says Trolls. Yeah, absolutely. 21. He's only going to get better, this kid. And the thing is, he's going to be the long-term successor for Kieran Trippier. So Trippier signed that new contract, Seattle 2025. And depending how his body holds up in 2025, he may call it a day playing. He may say, do you know what, I can still play another year. So we'll see what happens, but he'll be the eventual successor to Trippier. Wayne says, hello, Tony lads. Great sign that Ashby, young talent. Well, he hasn't signed yet, Wayne, but he will be if he does come in. Ian says, Qual should have scored. I might have missed that one. 3 mil, not a bad deal, says Lee Kelly. Yeah, absolutely, mate. It's not a bad deal at all. So, yeah, we shall wait and see when he signed it. England want Eddie Howe. Eddie Howe is building an England squad at Newcastle, says Mark. Yeah, he is. I mean, obviously Southgate's committed his future to England. He still wants to win a trophy for England. Well, let's hope he can do it. But the longer Southgate's there, the better for Eddie Howe. And the thing is, I don't think Eddie Howe would leave, to be fair. I think he's happy with what he's doing, and he wants day-to-day training. He doesn't want to wait 6 months to get a game and have people together for a training session. He wants to do day-to-day training. So yeah, we wait and see on that one. I mean, yesterday we had multiple reports coming out that we're in talks with Leicester apparently over a move for James Maddison. We're offering 45 million. Apparently Leicester want 55 million. It's who blinks first. And I believe we'll not blink first. We'll make Leicester blink first because we'll not be mugged off. If they want 55 million, I don't think they're going to get that, to be honest. But you see, now we're coming to the last few days of the transfer window. Transfer window shuts on Tuesday evening at 11 p.m. So Leicester's got a decision to make here. Do they sell him this window, get the money, or do they wait the summer, but they may get less money in the summer because he'll have 12 months left? So that's the conundrum for Leicester, but they need money. They've just signed Tete on loan, who's actually out of contract at the end of the season. And they're actually put a £20 million bid in for Harrison, Jack Harrison from Leeds, who Leeds are actually considering it. Now, considering we went in there with 35 million in the summer and they knocked that back. So it just shows you there's one price for some clubs, but there's one price for us, the Geordie tax, the Newcastle tax, as we all know it. So, yeah, that's what it is. I mean, obviously with the Maddison deal, this is one that's probably going to have to be paid up front. For the simple reason is Norwich City have a 15% sell-on clause. So any fee that Leicester get for Maddison, they've got to give Norwich 15% of that. And they've got to pay Norwich the 15% in full. They can't pay that back in instalments. That was a stipulation from Norwich City. So Norwich would be hoping this happens so they get some money into their club. Obviously, Leicester don't want to sell him. But I think he'd be perfect to come into our team now and just give us that final push of staying in the top four. So, yeah, he could be the big difference. But that's the rumours going around at the minute. Like I say, it's rumours, but we don't know how true it is, or the Maddison thing. But who knows? Things could escalate. They could escalate this evening. They could escalate tomorrow morning. Who knows? And we just have to wait and see on this. Even Eddie Howe said, even though we're playing on transfer deadline day, that doesn't affect the fact if we want to bring anybody in. So watch your space, guys. I know there's been a few fans a little bit edgy and a bit critical, like, well, why are we waiting until the end of the window to sign players? Could this be the reason why? Because you can pick up the bargains towards the end of the window, because sometimes teams want the money and they think, oh, we'll just sell. Now, Madson's just come back from an injury, a supposed injury, and he played 60-odd minutes yesterday, so he's fit again, which is absolutely fantastic. So it's one of them. We just have to wait and see what happens. But if he comes in, that'd be absolutely brilliant. We read that one, sorry, Mark. Yeah, Toon says, are we Brighton now because there is no way in hell we are the richest team in the world, or why are we snatching up kids with no end product? They may have talent, but we are needing ready-made players. The thing is, Toon, we've got to be careful with FFP constraints. That's the thing. Yes, we might. Right, let's get it straight. We're not the richest team in the world. We've got the richest owners in the world. That's a big difference. To be the richest club in the world, the richest team in the world, your club's got to generate that amount of funds to be the richest. And unfortunately, we're not there generating them funds at the moment. So yes, we have got the richest owners in the world, but there's two differences. Richest owners to richest club. Once we start bringing money into the club, then we'll end up being the richest club eventually. But at the moment, we're not the richest club. We've just got the richest owners. That's the big difference. And we've got to work within FFP constraints. A lot of it's to do with our former owner, who was paying transfer fees up in full, thinking that was the best thing to do, when in fact it wasn't the best thing to do. because he just made a mess of it all. And not only that, the fact is he didn't bring many sponsors into the club, so we didn't get many good deals, so the club wasn't really generating a lot of money. Gary says, deal or no deal? Ask the banker. Yeah, absolutely. No, I just thought it had to be done that way. I thought I have to put that up for a laugh, just. But it's right. Is it a deal or a no deal with Maddison? And, but who knows? Look what happened with Gordon. Everton didn't want to sell him last summer. They sold him in January for less money than they wanted in the summer. So it just goes to show things can happen, things can change. This is what I'm saying. Towards the end of the window, things get very, very interesting, and it depends how the clubs go on. Joel says, Gordon 45, I think Maddison's worth 55 million. Yeah, absolutely. And I think also that could be down to the fact is we could be saying, look, Leicester, I'll tell you what, we'll give you 45 million now and then say pay 10 million over in add-ons maybe. That might be the breaking point. But again, it's up to the two clubs, and I'm sure they're both talking. According to Leicestershire Live, they are talking, and this was out yesterday. But again, it's just rumours. Nobody actually knows. Ian says FF2. Yeah. Toon says, we've just signed Gordon 45 million. That shows Leicester is worth 5 times that, 45 million. Come on, Tony, they want 70 million. We offer 60 last window. Yeah, but the difference is now, Toon, there's 18 months left on his deal. Do Leicester really want to haggle on now? Or do they want to sell? Because what they've got to look at the end of the day is they've got this conundrum now where if they don't sell him this window, goes down to 12 months contract left. And if they can't sell him in summer, his contract's going to run down and he's going to go on a free. So what do they want to do? And that's up to Leicester. So, but I believe there's still another 1 or 2 to come in before the end of the window. I did say 3. I mean, I know excluding Kual, I did say we get 3. So if Ashby comes in, we've got 3. But I did say excluding Kual, by the way. So I reckon another one's coming through the door. Lee, good afternoon. He says there'll be a few more big shockers for us before the transfer deadline. Yeah, there will. And there's got to be some outgoings as well, surely. Ryan Fraser's heavily linked with a move out. Apparently Bournemouth as well, which I'm very surprised at, because why would Bournemouth want him back there? The fans hate him. Troll says, Neymar come to tune. Oh wait, he's playing a tune. Yeah, we don't want Neymar at the town. Thank you very much, Trolls. He's not got the attitude and not the sort of... Yes, he's a class player, don't get me wrong, but not the type you want in the dressing room. Sorry to why Newcastle make more money than Chelsea. We may not get more sponsors, but their wages are 250 million a year. If Newcastle want a top player, they can go and get him. It's cheapness as some has. Again, it's down to the FFP too, and that's the problem. You've got to look into the finances of the club, and you've got to look into what's happened from the past regime. If this FFP wasn't in place, I'm sure the owners could have gone out and spent money, as much as they're wanting. But FFP stops you. And FFP's tightening next year because of Chelsea. Because Chelsea hadn't given Mudryk an 8-year contract. They've given Gusto a 6-year deal. They're doing this now because they're getting around the rules. But these rules, and then from next year, you can only give 5-year contracts. It's, Chelsea spoiling the game. Tanji says, looks like Andy Carroll injured Christian Eriksen, who left Old Trafford on crutches last night. Yeah, not a great look for him. So, yeah, it could come down to the fact that he doesn't play against us. Should we make it to the Carabao Cup final, which we should do, but let's hope. Just remember, though, Man U's got a grueling second leg in the Europa League against Barcelona. So what you're hoping for is Barcelona are winning that first leg, and Man U've got to go all out at Old Trafford to try and win it. So fingers crossed. Lee says, we're building for the future, getting younger and be getting them playing better. Yeah, I totally agree with you, Lee. Absolutely, mate. I mean, that's the reason we're bringing a lot of youngsters in. That is why the club at the moment are not looking at players at like 29. Like we were linked with Hakim Ziyech. Now, yes, he's a great player. I like him. He's a good winger. But At 29, the club aren't going to touch him. Yes, we brought Trippier in last year at 31. We brought Dan Burn in at 29. We brought Wood in at 30. But we needed those players at that time to help us preserve our Premier League. But Dan Burn and Trippier are going nowhere. And as we've seen Trippier sign a new deal, Dan Burn will be here for his career. I'm 100% sure of that he will be. But yeah, now we are looking at younger players, because when you bring younger players into the team, those players are here to develop, and then they've got years ahead of them. And that's the way to go. And I applaud what the owners are doing. Eventually, we'll bring another centre-half in, who will be a youngster, and who will eventually be Cher's successor and be the next partner for Sven Botman. So again, it's youngsters coming into the club, and I think that's a great way to go. Trust these owners, because they know what they're doing. And remember, Ashworth knows a bargain or two. I mean, you got to look at Caicedo. Yes, okay, he's been a little shit at the minute, I think, at Brighton, by not wanting to play and saying that he's the youngest of 10 children or whatever it is, and he's come from Ecuador, but I think technically he should be seen to Brighton. Okay, fair enough, I can't go to Arsenal this window, but I'll knuckle down and I'll make sure in the summer, if I can get a move, then I'll go in the summer. But shame on him doing that to Brighton. But that's how football is. I mean, they brought McAllister in, they've got that Matoma. I mean, look at that Matoma, what a player he is at 22 as well. So that's what we're building here. John says, hi chaps. Hi John, hope you're well. Bia says, Leicester were terrible against Walsall. Yes, they missed a penalty scrape through. Yeah, Leicester's a poor side. But I'll tell you what, I'll tell you what it is, so I think it'll be so funny if Leeds do sell Harrison to Leicester, because they're selling to a direct relegation rival. So they're weakening themselves to strengthen Leicester. I mean, it's crazy. When again, the other day, they said, oh, we won't sell Harrison because we can't sell to a rival. But now they're considering the bid. So I don't get it. I really don't get it. Wouldn't be better to sell Maddison on the cheap, less money to Norwich? Well, you would think so, but then Leicester don't want to sell him on the cheap to this, so yeah. Ollie says, Tony, my wife loves you. Keep it up, mate. Thank you very much, Ollie. Thank you. If you're new, please hit the subscribe. Thank you. He says, what's your thoughts on signing Ferland Mendy from Man City? Well, he doesn't play for Man City, he plays for Real Madrid, Ferland Mendy. Yeah, I mean, Ferland Mendy's a tremendous player, but I don't think he's leaving Madrid in this window now, by the looks of it. Whether he comes in the summer is another matter, but he's a cracking player. I would have Ferland Mendy from Real Madrid, but his wages are high. But again, we wait and see what happens. But then who knows? Maybe another left back comes up that could be just as good, if not better, and younger. So that's a thing with the club. So we'll just wait and see. Mason says 2-1 Brighton. Nice one. Well, Liverpool don't like going to the Amex, do they? Getting hammered, getting beaten again. Yeah, Tanji says 2-1. Matoma, there we go. I was just speaking about Matoma, and he scored. Not long left for Brighton. We're in Kloppy time. Yep, the board's probably been put up to say that the final whistle goes when Liverpool score, but hopefully they won't. Troll says, we have the money to spend, as our owners have said, but they don't want to spend too much in January. Absolutely, Trolls. And again, it comes down to FFP, and that's the thing. Until we start bringing these sponsors in, if we do what Man City do, and you bring 100 of these £1 million sponsors in that go under the radar, that don't have to go through Premier League approval, there's £100 million a season in the club straight away. So that gets you a couple of players. Went to VAR, it's been counted, says Mason. Excellent. FFP, Newcastle can spend 800 million in the transfer cycle, so that's bollocks. It's a fact. Newcastle wages are a 50% income. And our Adidas deal is going to get us at least 300 million. Well, we don't know if we're going to Adidas. Nothing's been said about the Castore deal yet, if it's been scrapped or not. I know they are wanting to get rid of Castore, but we just have to wait and see. And again, last year, Kieran Maguire come out and said we can spend 500 million, but I don't know where the 800 million's come from, because I'm sure if we could have, I'm sure we would have spent a lot more than. Ron says, give it 6 transfer windows. That's about 3 seasons by my math. You won't recognise the team or the club at the next level. That's the thing, Robin. Yeah. I mean, I've always said over the 4 transfer windows, I think we'll start rooting out the players that we don't want at the club. I mean, you know, Dan Ashworth's done a great thing with Chris Wood. Let's get him off to Nottingham Forest on loan, but let's make sure Nottingham Forest play him in so many games, so there's an obligation that he has to sign for 15 million quid. And it's only cost us 10 million then for Chris Wood. Not a bad deal all round. Chelsea are doing the same as Forest did last season, by left, right, and centre. Tony, yeah. Difference with Forest though, they had a lot of loan players and players out of contract, so they were gone. They left the club, so they had to have a major rebuild. Although a lot of people didn't agree with Forest, because everybody was saying, well, they're going for this player, going for that player. But Chelsea, they're just panic buying. They're panic buying because they're trying to buy their way into the top 4. And yet people accuse us of buying our way into the top 4. We have not bought our way into the top 4. We are there on merit and playing bloody good football. And that is the difference. But Chelsea, I tell you now, if they don't get European competition this season, it's going to be interesting how their players are going to react next season when there's no European football, especially the likes of Mudryk and Badiashile. Are they going to still want to be at the club? That's the question. Leslie, afternoon all. Sorry I'm late, Tony. We'll catch up later. No worries, Leslie. So chuffed Brighton 2-1. Yeah. Well, didn't Brighton just beat them a couple of weeks ago? So, yeah. Lee says, haha, Liverpool getting beat 2-1. Yeah, it's brilliant, isn't it? Everybody loves it. No team has ever won anything on youth. Even Arsenal bought this summer to cover the facts their youth project didn't work. So, any team you need top quality. Right. Let me stop you there, Toon, because you go back to Alex Ferguson at Manchester United. A guy called Alan Hansen came out with the most famous comments of all. You'll win nothing with kids. Man U went out and won the title with kids. Won trophies with kids. So to say that no team's won anything, that is a wrong comment, because Man United have done it. When they had Beckham, Scholes, Giggs, you know, that team full of youngsters. So the Neville brothers, you have to go back to Manchester United. But if you go back and go look it all up, you'll see that Manchester United won stuff for kids in the team. And that very famous thing come back to bait Alan Hansen in the backside when he says you'll win nothing with kids. He was totally wrong, because Man U went out and proved them wrong. Liverpool's out, says Mason. Nice one. Well, I bet Klopp's not a happy man tonight then, is he? Wayne says, come on, Brighton, absolutely buzzing. Afternoon, Tony. Afternoon, Chris. Hope you're well. How are you, the lads? Mehmeti from Wigan would be a very good signing. Big clubs looking he'd be better than Murphy, Ritchie. Yeah, maybe another one that can be developed. Yeah, absolutely. GD beats. All right, Tony. Yep, all right, mate. Absolutely fine, mate. Thank you very much. Troll says, I have a feeling we will see a screamer from Isak if he starts. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Wouldn't be surprised. How are the lads? Adidas were at one of our home games with the directors. Yeah, support. Yeah, apparently so. That was the rumour going around. I think it was the Leicester game when we played in the Carabao Cup. But again, it's one of these. We'll just have to wait and see. No doubt we'll hear something in the next couple of, I would say probably towards the end of the season when we'll hear about that. Troll says, when it comes to Castore, there are so many problems with their products that legally it shouldn't be hard to change to Adidas. Yeah, it shouldn't be, but there is contracts in place. So I think it's going through stuff like that. But again, Darren Eales will make sure that we get the right contracts and we get the right deals. And we got the guy from Arsenal as well, Peter Silverstone, who will make sure that we get the best commercial deals going, because that's what he did for Arsenal. What's going on, Carrier, says John. That's a good question. I would love to know that question as well, that answer as well, because Galdolo has gone to Hull, but he's not joining Hull until after our game on Tuesday night against Southampton, because Dubravka's Cup tied. So unless Karius has got some sort of knock and he's not fit enough to be on the bench, then that's maybe why Galdolo is going to sit on the bench on Tuesday and then go off to Hull straight after the game. So, yeah, it's a strange one, but we shall wait and see. But I've got a feeling Karius has got some sort of knock and that's why they're not risking him on the bench. Tanchi says, lots in the first speak, but until Adidas take over from Gusto, we are still there with the revenue. Still where we are with revenue, sorry. Same applies to other sponsor revenue deals in the pipeline and upgrading the stadium. Yeah, you're totally right, Tanji. And, we'll get rid of Fun 88 at the end of the season, so we'll have a brand new shirt sponsor. So again, yeah, cheap sponsor deals are gone now. They're gone. Are we the lads? Says Scholes, Giggs, Beckham, Neville were mid-20s when Hansen called them kids. Haha. Yeah, absolutely. Well, they were early 20s, weren't they? So, yeah. Joe, when has Klopp been happy this season? When is he ever happy? Yeah, absolutely. Klopp will be blaming everyone bar himself, yeah. You'll probably see he hasn't used the right mouthwash this morning for his teeth whitening. Toon says, Alex Ferguson did not win with kids. He had kids, but can't not. Andy Cole, Steve Bruce, Dennis Irwin, that's bollocks. You can't make a team just out of kids. They bring in big players. Yeah, they had big players there you learn from, but they still had kids in the team. And that's what Alan Hansen was going on about. You not win nothing with them. And Alex Ferguson proved him wrong. CD coming on a bit late. Tony doing well. Did I miss any transfer news? The only thing that is, we had the breaking news this morning that Ashby is the deal for Harrison Ashby's been accepted, but the bid's been accepted by West Ham, 3 million plus add-ons. But yeah, apparently he's coming for a medical today, so hopefully he shall be signing in the not too distant future. Hopefully, it could be as soon as tomorrow. Who knows? So we'll wait and see on that one. Tanchi says Klopp will probably moan about that Brighton after having better than recruitment than Liverpool. Do you know what? That's what I'm saying. Brighton's recruitment's been spot on. I think, like I say, for Caicedo to go on like he has, a spoiled kid, I'm sorry. He owes Brighton a lot. And just to see he's from a youngest of 10, and he's come from Ecuador. Yeah, a lot of people who've played football from different countries, have come from families, but you don't see them whinging as much as that. And I'm sorry, Caicedo's let himself down on that. But Matoma, as I said, what a cracking player he looks. And at 22, he's only going to get better, isn't he? Again, that's down to the Ashworth, isn't it? So I've got a guest in here, so I'll bring him in now. It's John. Hi, John. How are you?
Hi, Tony. How are you doing, my guy? You good?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. What's your thoughts on Harrison Ashby? Now, the news is broke this morning, 3 million plus add-ons, and he's on his way for a medical. Mm-hmm. I think this must have been arranged last night because he took all his West Ham stuff off his Instagram last night. What's your thoughts on Harrison Ashby?
Good afternoon, Tony. Good afternoon, chats as well. Hope everyone's fine. Look, I mean, Harrison Ashby, I don't know a lot about this guy. I can't lie, but I heard good things about him. I mean, West Ham supporters seems to love this guy. He's going to be an elite player in the future to come. And this guy's going to be quite clever. He's a young player. What is he? Old is he? 20, 21? Am
21.
I right? 21. And West Ham's raving about this guy. One thing I do know, I think he's got like 10 assists, something like 4 goals. I mean, how many appearances, I don't know. But I think that would be a cracking young future signing for behind Kieran Trippier. And it seems that I don't know a lot about him. I can't really give you the answer, Tony. I'm not going to lie, but I think it's a cracking signing to get this guy. And we do need a covering right back because Emil Kraft as well documented is out for the season. And we need cover at right back in our position, Tony. And I think Mercurio's has done Newcastle. I think he'd be on his way. I really do think he'd be on his way. But I think big up to Dan Ashworth for finding this guy. I've got faith in him. And yeah, I think it's a cracking signing if you get him.
Yeah, absolutely, John. It's people are panicking about the transfer window, saying that we've not signed anybody. Then we sign Anthony Gordon. Still hasn't been announced yet, but we know it's mostly a done deal now. And so I mean, leaving deals till late sometimes puts panic in other clubs, and that's why they sell, because they think, oh, should we sell now or will we wait till the summer? And it's a bit of gambling that way. Same with the Maddison story that keeps surfacing. That apparently we're talking to Leicester City. They're wanting 60 or whatever it is from Maddison, but we're wanting to offer 45 million, or they're wanting 55 million rather. Who knows? Who knows? That could happen. I mean, some people are saying it might not happen. Yeah, it might not. But you can see how quick a deal happens. A deal can happen rather quickly. And there's nothing to say that that deal doesn't get agreed even tomorrow morning. And Maddison's a Newcastle player. As long as he's signed by 11 p.m. on Tuesday evening, then he can be a Newcastle player. But I think there's still more irons in the fire for the window, and it's one of them. We just have to wait and see what happens. But guys, I've got 52 watching at the moment, so if you like what you see, please smash those likes. It really does help the channel up the search results. Also, if you're brand new to the channel, please hit the subscribe. It's free to do so. Helps the channel grow. Bell notification tells you when I'm live, any upcoming shows, or any pre-recorded videos as well, guys. So I'll just get back into some comments as well. And Klopp doesn't take a breath, rambles on, and doesn't do sentences, says how are you the lads? He doesn't, does he? No. I mean, yeah, Liverpool's gone. They're out the FA Cup. Paul says, afternoon, mate. 3 million's a bargain, like, isn't it? Yeah, it is, absolutely. Lee says, could be a year before Adidas deal with us. Yeah, it all depends on if we can get rid of Castore. That's the thing. And the club are talking with Castore, aren't they? But it's whether they can get rid of them or not. That's the thing about it. But we'll find out. CD, any truth to the Sander Berge rumours? I've not heard a lot about it. I've seen him linked with other clubs. I mean, Sander Berge, your thoughts, John? Would you take Sander Berge? I mean, he's not a bad midfielder, is he?
He's a box-to-box midfielder, isn't he? I mean, he's a big lad, 6'5" of him, and good. He's got good control on the ball as well. I mean, again, heard of the name. I don't know a lot about this guy that much, but he's one of the better players Sheffield United. I'm sure he is, but he should have been aware when Sheffield United got relegated, because lots of clubs were after him as well. I mean, he could have gone to a German club, but would I take Sander Berge? Probably as a squad player, I would. As a squad player, but we could do with a bigger name than Sander Berge. That's no disrespect to Sander, but for me personally, I mean, that's a name's quite out of the blue. But you would be my first choice. But for me, if he does come and Eddie backs the guy, I have to back him.
Yeah, I mean, his stats last year in the Championship, he started 22 out of 31 games and scored 5 goals and got 3 assists. But this season, in the Championship, he's started 18 games out of 19. He's got 4 goals and 3 assists. But he plays defensive midfield or midfield centre.
Right.
Again, I don't watch a lot of them, so I don't know a lot about them. But a lot of clubs are interested in them. And it's one to watch, I suppose, but might not be a move in this window. It could be a summer move.
Yeah, I don't think, if I'm honest with you as well, Sheffield United are the top 2 in the Championship as well behind Burnley. I don't think Paul Heckingbottom will let him go, not in this window, because he could be important to him and Sheffield United. And if they get back in the Premier League, then, then maybe they look into it as well. But I can see Lee's comment as well, by the way. Not Lee, Craig Lee's comment as well. Will he take us to the next level? Probably not. But I would have gone for better players like a Corny, like a Alvarez, or maybe he's, better Premiership players as well. So, yeah.
Yeah. How the lad says Matoma's class. Yes, he is, isn't he? Paul says, how do Brighton keep getting these gems? I swear they'll sell one and replace him with someone better every time. Yeah, that's the way they do it. But that's why their clubs doing so well. For a small club like Brighton, If they finish in European competition this season, that's a great season for Brighton. Howie the lad says Brighton do have gems. I hope that Ferguson's okay. He's going to be a good striker. Yeah, he looks good, doesn't he? Troll says, watch a vid on Ashby. He's a great talent. Yeah, he is, and he has good delivery. Says Howie the lads. Toon says, hang on, Anthony Gordon did worse than him. What, Sander Berge, you mean? Yeah, but hang on a minute. Gordon's was playing in a poor Everton side. Let's not forget around the fact that he's playing in a poor Everton team. And this Everton team are very poor. And he probably stayed in the summer thinking, oh, well, Everton's going to get better. After staying up last season, he probably expected Everton to be higher in the table. And because they're back in the relegation zone. If you've got a team that's not playing well and you're playing part of that team, your confidence is going to be well and truly knocked. So, let's not think at the worst of Anthony Gordon. Let's back him, okay? Let's back him and see what he can do for us. Forget what his stats are now. Let's see what his stats are for us. That's more important. The stats at Newcastle now are going to be more important than the stats he had at Everton. And I'll tell you now, and I hope he proves a lot of people wrong, that he'll have the better stats than he had at Everton, and he just goes from this level to that level. And we'll see a totally different player altogether. Because remember, Eddie Howe's the coach, and Eddie Howe does coaching better than what Frank Lampard will ever do.
Let's just say something there, Tony, as well. I mean, there's a lot of people. I posted out a tweet yesterday, and there's a lot of people, right, as turning their nose up about Andy Gordon signing, okay? And I posted out another tweet. And I even had an Everton fan, right? You might not know Kathy, her name is, right? And I think she posted and said that I wish there's more Newcastle fans like this, John, because some of the Newcastle fans, just come with Everton fan, come out and say that some of the Newcastle fans are absolutely stupid, sort of thing. That's come from an Everton fan, Tony, yeah? She basically said, get behind Anthony Gordon, right? She likes him, but at the end of the day, right, you've got to give the kid a chance. We're not going to judge Anthony Gordon playing for Everton. We're going to judge Anthony Gordon playing for Newcastle United. Real talk here. So he's saying now, back Eddie, back Dan Ashworth, back the group, back the PIF, and get behind this guy. He's saying now, there's not a lot you can do about it, right? He is our player, and I hope Anthony Gordon turns it on for Newcastle United because I'm backing this guy. Yes, he wasn't my first choice. He's here now. I will back him. And I'll tell you what, it could be a gem. He could be one of the best Newcastle winger we've ever had in years. Yeah? Simple as that.
Well, that's the thing, John. I mean, I didn't want him, but I did say I would back him. And I did say this last week that Anthony Gordon is a rough diamond that needs smoothing out. And Eddie Howe is that man to get that extra 20, 30% out of him and take things out of his game, like his diving mate, for instance. But you see, are these going to be the same fans, John, that are against Anthony Gordon, that when he plays his first game, if he dives outside the box and gets us a free kick and Kieran Trippier pops it in the back of the net and wins the game, the fans are going to absolutely go mad and love him. Or if he scores, they're going to forget all about that, and then he's going to be an instant hero. So, but that's part of football, and that's what. But the great thing with football is it's all about opinions, and that's what we love: opinions. Some people have their opinions of him that they're not happy with him. Some have their opinions that he's great. But at the end of the day, let's back the lad. Let's give him the backing. I'll back any player that comes into this club.
Totally agree. Totally agree.
I mean, while we've got Toon Revival's comment there, I mean, he did ask a question. He says, no team's actually won anything with kids. And I said, well, hang on a minute. Man U did. Because remember Alan Hansen? You'll win nothing with kids. And what happened? Man U went and won.
That very season, Tony. That very season.
Yeah.
Nobody knows. Nobody knows what's going to happen. Do you know what I mean? Alex Ferguson, right, ain't daft, right? He knows exactly what he's doing at Man United. He knows exactly what he's doing. He got rid of Jaap Stam, right, at a perfect time doing that book, yeah? He got rid of some top quality players out of his club. And guess what? The following same season, they win the bloody title. And that is how Alex Ferguson works. No one don't dare question him. That's why, in my opinion, I think he's the best manager in the Premier League's history. And I didn't know anyone say.
Yeah.
That's my opinion. I know people's going to have a go at us for saying that.
No, I totally agree with you, John. I mean, Alex Ferguson knew exactly what he was doing, and that's the difference. The likes of Beckham. I mean, remember Beckham was on loan at Preston. He come back, and then that following season, he won stuff for Man United. Just shows you how good a manager Ferguson was especially with the youth that he was bringing through. He brought a lot of youth through,
Yes.
and we've had a couple of them. We've had Nicky Butt, we've had Keith Gillespie, and he didn't get rid of players easily either. That's the thing.
It's true.
Ches says, "Hi, John."
Hi, Ches. How we doing? Yeah, big up to Jules as well. How we doing?
Paul says, "Honestly, bet Brighton can't wait for the window to end. Well, they've told Caicedo he's going nowhere. He can't train with him, and so this is interesting now because the thing is, they're going to stop him moving in this window. But then what they're going to do when the window closes, they're going to put him back in the team. Is his mind going to be on the game? To be fair, if Arsenal come back in with 70 million, I would say, do you know what? There you go. Off you go, mate."
Yeah,
and they paid 4.8 million for him, John.
Yeah.
So I mean, he's a bargain, but he's just got himself too big, and he's thought, all right, I'm going to move on now, and it's not the way to behave. To be fair, there's no loyalty these days. That's the problem. No loyalty.
No, it's not. There's no loyalty in football now, Tony. All at the end of the day, when you get linked to a club, right, it's going to be more money. It's age going to say, you know what? You're getting more money playing for this club, getting more money playing for that club, right? But at the end of the day, right, we know what's going to happen, don't you? I mean, when you got a big offer coming in, right, your head's going to get turned. It's as simple as that. Play for a bigger club. We've seen it so many times. Caicedo's going to be one of them. Yeah, let's be real, right? Probably Anthony Gordon with Newcastle. Do you know what I mean? But changing agents, I see Foxy's comment, changing agents as well, right? They go, "Hi to you, in by the way. You're not done the old one, right? And will not be bullied unless they get at least 80 million.
Absolutely.
That is how they operate as well. He's worth the money. They will sell a player if the money is correct. And Brighton's policy has always been that way. You never change that policy.
Yeah, totally agree, John. And Foxy's spot on. I mean, Foxy knows his South American stuff. So, and he's right. If Brighton got 80 million, then yeah, they would sell probably. And that would be a good deal. Talking to each other there. Toon Revival. For Newcastle break the top four next season, it's going to be hard because Chelsea and Liverpool will have pre-season to fix their shit. We need a top CDM, a top inside forward, and Neil's centre back for Botman. I'm sure in the summer, if we finish that top four, I'm sure we'll strengthen, and I'm sure that they'll strengthen in the right areas. I think they were prioritising number 6 for this window. We haven't quite got that one over the line, but there again, who knows? Who knows? We haven't got number 6 coming in. Nobody knows. That's the thing. It could just all of a sudden happen, So just watch your space. Toon says, question for John. Have we signed anyone who improves the first 11? So, yes, we signed kids, but it's not a good window. Maybe for the future, but for the season, not so far. Right, John, what's your answer to Toon Revival?
Okay. We're third in the league, right? We lost one game this season, right? And one thing I will say to you, mate, trust the process, right? Eddie Howe is doing fantastic, getting the players that he wants, yeah. Dan Ashworth is doing fantastic, bringing the kids in, right? Do you know what I mean? Players for the future, yeah. You got to trust these people, man, right? Look, at the end of the day, we can do players like Corney and Alvarez as well. You can do with another senior player in the midfield as well, 100%, Tony. But at the end of the day, right, we've got to trust the process. We've got a good team there, right? And we are going to improve. If Chelsea Liverpool's going to improve, we're going to improve. Because at the end of the day, these owners not come here to be in Europa League. They're not here to finish in mid-table. We're here to get in the top 4 or win a title. So far, so good. We're moving on the right direction. Now, can I just make this clear, right, for the listeners as well, right? They say it's a 5-year plan. We're way ahead of the process, the project. Yeah, this is year 1. And we're third. So we're way ahead. And let's keep it going. Yeah, let's not be negative. Let's not be downhearted. We are doing fantastically well. So long may it continue. Enjoy the ride, people.
Absolutely, John. Well said, mate. Howie the lad says, make part of the cash to buy uptown centres like Torquay and Plymouth. Yeah, we did. Paul says, I think there's something in this Madison transfer. You know, if we didn't think he would sell, we wouldn't keep going back. It's not going away. That's the thing, Paul. Yeah. And I mean, it's down to who blinks first. And that's what I've always said. It's who blinks first. Now, Leicester might want more money. But the thing is, we ain't going to blink first. And I think Leicester will blink first. Because I say, don't be surprised if it happens in this window. Look what they've done with Wesley Fofana. They sold him 2 days before the window shut. And then had to go and panic buy and get that Wout Fazen who thinks he's like Colaccini, but nowhere as good as Colaccini. Never will be as good as Colaccini. But yeah, so, you know, never say never. Until the window shuts at 11 o'clock on Tuesday evening, that's when you'll know whether Madison's playing for us or he's still at Leicester. If he's still at Leicester, I'm sure we'll be back in the summer for him.
Hey, Tony, can I say so? Could you imagine we get into the final, right, at Wembley, and James Maddison signs at the same night?
Yeah. Could happen, John.
I mean, it could. It could be paraded on the pitch.
Chelsea is good point, Paul. Howie the lad says Sander Berge is highly rated on big money already. Yeah, he is, yeah. Troll says Sander Berge. No, thank you. Not good enough for me. He's from Norway.
Good.
Lee says Neves, not a bad player. No, Ruben Neves, that's another one I would have. He's got 18 months on his contract, and apparently, again, that's something Newcastle are keeping their eye on, his contract situation. I mean, Neves, you know, cracking player, great defensive midfielder, can score goals, got a great eye for goal. I, for one, would have this guy in the team, no problem whatsoever. I mean, John, you would take Neves as well, wouldn't you?
100%, man. He's still young, isn't he? Still, what's he, 25, 26 still? He's still a young player. And I tell you what, Ruben Neves, that sort of player we can take at Newcastle 100%. I love seeing his long distance shooting as well. He now has the Premier League. And you know what I mean? He is so highly rated as well, man. 18 months left on his contract. You can get him on a bargain as well, by the way, if he wants out. And look, at the end of the day, he'll love out in Newcastle. He could excite the fans as long distance as well. Expect 10 bookers a season, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely, yeah. Craig says, Burge doesn't take us to the next level. Not a defensive midfielder and not a great 8, says Craig. Again, I haven't seen a lot of them, to be fair, Craig. But I'm sure there's better alternatives out there. How are you, the lads? Neves is very good and shoots, which is what we need to do. Shoot shy at times. Yeah, we have been. But the thing is, so what you got to remember, guys, is while we're a bit worried about the goal scoring, but the good thing is we're creating the chances. When you're creating chances, shows that you're getting your shots at goal. But if we weren't creating chances, that's the time to worry. But while we're creating chances, always think, while we've got a chance, we've always got a chance for a goal. And that proved it the other night against Southampton. And to be fair, I wouldn't be surprised on Tuesday if we go out there and score at least 2 or 3 against Southampton. Foxy says West Ham's got a great deal for a player who was leaving on a free. 3 million plus add-on fees and a 20% sell-on clause. Yeah, absolutely, Foxy. I mean, we wouldn't have gotten for completely free in the summer. Would have gone to a tribunal, but West Ham wouldn't have got anywhere near that off a tribunal. So I think it was take it or leave it to West Ham, and I think they realised that, we better just let him go. CD could be an exciting last few days of the window. Yeah, absolutely, mate. 100% agree. I mean, yeah. That's the thing now. We don't look at the window and wait till the last day and get a last-minute loan deal in. Or that we can't afford the fee to get a Baz Dost or a Hamza Chowdhury in. We're looking at better quality than them. And by the way, Baz Dost still plays football for Utrecht. He's 33 now. Leslie says, I thought the deal came up with 3 million, including add-ons. Craig says, any players we buy should improve the team. Almiron, Willick, etc. will become the squad players. Think, yeah, anybody we're bringing in now is strength and depth. And the thing is, the players that are playing have to keep that. If they want to keep that starting berth, have to make sure they keep that shirt, because any drop in performance, they'll be out the team, and whoever's behind them on the bench is probably either as good or, if not better than them. Once they get in, then they've got a hard fight to get that shirt back. So that's the only way you do competition well. And, you know, I mean, people are saying about us having Anthony Gordon for 45 million. Just look at Man City. Jack Grealish, 100 million quid. What's he done at Man City? Not a lot. You know, and £100 million for a player of Jack Grealish. Yes, we know he's a good player, but in other words, he ain't that great. He needs to be more like Almiron.
Absolutely.
Jules says, let's just wait and see how Gordon gets on. Absolutely, mate. I 100% agree with you. Wonder how much that Mehmeti would cost from Wickham. I definitely grab him. I'm not sure. I've not seen him play, to be fair. But you know, we'll just have to wait and see. Guys, I've got 69 watching at the moment, so if you could smash those likes, that'd be absolutely fantastic. Thank you very much. And also, if you're new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button. It's free to do so. Helps the channel grow. Davey says, good afternoon. Good afternoon, Davey. Hope you're well.
Yep.
Toon says, it does make you think we need to swap our scout system for Brighton's because they assign better quality and they seem to find. Well, remember, we've got Dan Ashworth, who's come from Brighton. And I don't think we've got too bad of a scouting network at the moment. They've kept Steve Nixon on because they rate Steve Nixon very highly, the owners. So he has been doing a lot of work behind the scenes, but it's just getting the players in. Foxy says, performance-related add-ons are on top of £3 million deal. Yep, absolutely. Craig says, Gordon will be a monster under Howe. Yes, he will. And do you know what? We always complain about players who are having a shithouse attitude towards us when they play against us.
Yeah.
Look, we're starting that now. We've got the shithousery about us. Look at last week when Selecta Carr was sent off. Jacob Murphy, bye-bye. And even Bruno gave him a wave as well. And Bruno got celebrating. So, you know, and he'll just add to that. And I'm sure Trippier and Shaw will welcome Anthony Gordon in with open arms. There'll be no malice there. Alan says, afternoon, Tony and John, the local media are saying we are looking at Lille defender Thiago Djalo. Again, I've not heard that one, Alan. But if we are, I mean, I don't know a lot about him. Do you, John?
He played alongside Sven Botman, by the way, and apparently he can play anywhere at the right. He used to play at right back as well, 12 Pinsons at the right back, and then they shifted on to the defence. Well, don't think he'll make him a good player, but I don't know a lot of him. But he's a Portuguese on the 21 international. He was at Milan, by the way, as well. He's really quick, and he's a young prospect. He's going to be a cracking defender in years to come.
Yeah, he can play right back or defensive centre. This season, he's played more predominantly left. He's started 18 out of 19 games, got 2 goals, no assists, and accuracy of passing in his own half 95% and 87% in the opposition half. He's only 22. He's got no weaknesses, and his strengths are his ground duels and his tackling. So there we go. And he's out of contract June 2024, so he's got 18 months left on his deal.
Yeah.
And he's valued at about 12.8 million euros at this time on SofaScore. So there you go for that one.
Lil wants 20 million for him. And also, could he be a long-term replacement for Fabian Schär?
Yeah, exactly. Because that's what we do need to get. James Matthew, are we only going to watch the rewatch this now? How are you, the lads? Keep up the good work. Thanks very much, James. Cheers, mate. Davey says, on Sky News, 3 million, including add-ons with a sell-on clause. Yeah, all clubs put a sell-on clause on now. Gordon is okay for the squad player. He does not get now a start 11 when everyone is fit, says Paul. Again, that depends on how he does. Gordon will be great for us, says Bia. Yeah, absolutely. Toon says, back Gordon, but slag is Casido. They both did the same thing, but Gordon screwed over his home team. He was a wonder kid. You can't defend that. Right. Let's get things into perspective. Everton have said he never put in a transfer request. He never asked for a transfer. Yes, he stayed away from training. Do you blame the lad staying away from training? Now, come on. Everton fans have been an absolute disgrace to their club over the last few weeks. Owners couldn't go to the club. They were told that they couldn't go for their own safety. What a disgrace. Did we ever do that with Mike Ashley? No. Yes, we were protesting against him, but we never ever done it to the point where he couldn't feel safe or come to Newcastle United, that's for sure. Everton fans block the road, stop players, stand outside players' houses. Do you think this is acceptable? Do you think Gordon's probably wanting to stay in that atmosphere? Probably not. And at the end of the day, I don't blame the lad if he has wanted to get out of Everton. He probably didn't even want to go to training in case those fans going to block the roads. So, while you've got this, while you're saying this about Gordon and saying the difference between him and Casido, but the total difference between him and Casido is Casido's playing in a team that are doing well. Gordon's playing in a team that aren't doing so well. But then you've got the club's fans who are being so toxic. So, there is a big difference there, Toon. And I can defend that, by the way. And I will defend that. And sorry if you don't like that, but that's the way I am. I am defending that. Do you agree with me, John?
100%, Tony. 100%. We as fans do not go out blocking rules, blocking players' way sort of thing. We just don't do that at all whatsoever. Because if they do that, then they would get hell on social media. Let me tell you, and I will not accept that at all. I mean, look, if they play poor, if you're going to do a thing like that sort of thing, yeah, I know people going to say on social media, you were poor, this and that and t'other. Yeah, you want a better player, cool. If you don't want a better player, well, okay, cool. But don't have a goal blocking the roads and that sort of thing. Like, Mina for Everton, I said this many a time, I'm surprised he did not get that fans, but he showed a bit of class. He answered their questions. Good for him.
Yeah. I mean,
good for him.
I don't know if you saw the video, John. I saw this video, and some people are going to put this down and say, oh, yeah, it's a publicity stunt, but it's not.
No, it's not.
Anthony Gordon went to Asda in Liverpool, and he bought a load of shopping, and he took it straight down the local food bank. Now, this guy is obviously a legend for doing that. I mean, to go out of his own way and buy stuff and give it to the food bank. Just think if he does that up here as well for the food bank, for the Newcastle food bank, I mean, it's going to be absolutely fantastic, isn't it? And
absolutely.
So let's cut the slack on this guy. Let's give this guy some credit, please. Yes, we know what he's like on the pitch against us, but off the pitch, he could be a totally different character. Newcastle have looked into it and they've seen the character he is, and that's exactly why they've gone out and bought him. Because his character, probably off the pitch, is a lot better, lot different to what it is on the pitch. On the pitch, he's trying to do a job. He's trying to earn money, doing a job, which he was doing for Everton. So let's cut the lad some slack and let's give the lad a chance. And he could turn into be an absolute gem, and a £45 million could end up being a bargain. It could be a snip. If it goes the other way and he's a flop, fair enough. We've had our fingers burnt. We've learnt my lesson. It happens at every club. Not every club gets players right. Harry Maguire is a great example. £80 million to Man U. He's a heap of shit. He's crap. Yes, he plays well for England, but in a Man United shirt, he's a total flop. Anthony, who Man United have signed for £82 million, he's rubbish. I don't rate him. Have you seen the way he was last night trying to do his fancy footwork against Redden and got the ball taken off him? And that's an £82 million player. Rubbish. He's no better. So, so let's just cut the lad a bit of slack and let's see how he does for us. Is that a fair point, John? Do you rate Anthony, John, by the way, from Man U? Or do you think he's not that great?
Look, I mean, I've watched him play a couple of times. He's got all the skills, he's got all the flicks and whatever you want to call it. But for me, I'll have to agree with you. He's got to do a hell of a lot more to get my votes. You know what I mean? But yeah, he's got to be a team player in a minute. He's just not been a team player at all whatsoever, sort of, and I'm sure Ten Hag will have to sit down with him just to look, this kind of be happening, do you know what I mean? But who cares? I mean, we're going to finish above them this season and all, I hope. and we're going to beat them in the final. Should we get there?
Yeah. Frederick Axelson, good afternoon to you, mate. If you're new at the channel, please hit the subscribe and the likes. That would be great. Thank you. He says West Ham fans are not too happy at losing Ashby, highly rated. I bet they're not. But at the end of the day, if he doesn't accept the contract, there's nothing West Ham can do about it. And we've got him in there and got him in. So yeah, I bet they're not happy. Let's get Madison, says Alan. I would hope so, Alan. I would love that to happen. That would be brilliant. Lee says Eddie will bring the best out of Gordon. Yes, he will, because I've always said Lampard ain't a great coach, ain't a great manager. He's proven that he's not a great manager because he can't. He's great in the Championship, Lampard. Look what he done for Derby, but that was totally different. He got lucky at Chelsea in that first season when they had transfer embargo, because he brought Mount and he brought Mount back from Derby, and Tomori, who he had at Derby as well. So he knew them players, but when they did buy players at Chelsea, he got found out and he got sacked. Went Everton, yes, he managed to just scrape, keeping them up last season. But look where they are now. They're back in the relegation zone. That tells you all you need to know about Frank Lampard. And difference is Eddie Howe is a much better coach than what Frank Lampard will ever be. And Eddie will definitely get the best out of him. You just got to look at Almiron, Maxi, Willock, Longstaff. The list goes on to see how much you can get out of these players. Even Share to an extent as well. Niall says, big ups Tony Boy and John Boy. Thoughts on Anthony Gordon? Time will tell, but I think it's not a bad signing, if I'm honest, Niall. I think he'll do very well for us. And, we've got to give the guy a chance. But I believe with Eddie Howe's coaching, this lad can be at the top of his game and could even be an England regular. And do you want to give Niall your thoughts as well, Chad?
Yeah, hi now. Just hope you're well, mate. And look, listen, and we just got to back the lad. He's here now, right? We're going to back Anthony Gordon, right? We're going to judge him for Newcastle United, not for Everton. And for me, I think if you look back on it, I think it's a good signing, a cracking signing for a 21-year-old, 45 million quid. And for me personally, I think it'll fit in really well. We, as fans, need to back him. Go back under Mike Cashley's era. We're not signing players like Gordon, 45 million quid. And here we are. People are turning their nose up and saying, I don't want him, we don't want him, blah, blah, blah. He's here now. We've got no choice. Back the lad.
Yeah, absolutely, John. That's the thing. People are forgetting the Ashley era. And we do want to forget the Ashley era because it was a bad era. But, that's the thing. We would have been crying out for players like that. And, just because we've got the money, people think we can go out there. And I've had to, we had it like off Toon Revival earlier saying, oh, well, considering we're supposed to be the richest club, why aren't we buying all these players? And I said, let's get things straight. There's a difference. We've got the richest owners in the world, but we're not the richest club yet. We've got to generate the funds and income to be the richest club in the world. But until then, we've got the richest owners in the world.
Yes. Breaking news as well, by the way. Anthony Gordon is now officially as a Newcastle player on a long-term deal.
It's been announced now. It's took me a while to announce that, hasn't it, John?
Say again, Tony?
I say it's took a while to announce that one.
It did. It did. But look, at the end of the day, what I'll say is, right, it's just, he's here now. And I think he's going to be a cracking addition as well. We know it's going to be a 5-year contract. Let's get this right, And I just hope he does well in a black and white shirt. And welcome to Newcastle, Anthony Gordon.
Yeah. Got a quote here from Anthony Gordon. And he says, since I heard of the interest, I was always convinced Newcastle were for me. I think the fan base, the city really suits me as a person. The way the team are playing under the gaffer at the minute really suits me. And the club just look like they're heading in the right direction. It feels like a really big step. People haven't seen what I'm capable of yet. I think under this gaffer and the way the club's going, I can really excel here. Eddie Howe has said, I'm delighted to sign Anthony. He's a top talent. I'm really excited to work with him to develop him, and I'm looking forward to see what he can do in a Newcastle shirt. So that's coming out the club at the moment. I mean, that's all. It's there for everybody to see. I mean, you know, he couldn't have said it any better, could he really, John?
Totally agree, Tony. Totally agree. Nice words from Anthony Gordon there. It's obviously he gets our club, and it's good words from the guy as well. And all he's got to do now is put it in, deliver on the pitch, deliver on the football field, and hopefully show us that he is a cracking player. And I believe in this guy as well.
And he has one of his latest pictures from his media duties yesterday. There we go, guys. There he is, with his scarf, Newcastle shirt on, in the stadium. Standing where I was the other day when I was on the tour. So there you go, guys. Yeah. Whether he's standing the exact spot I was standing, I don't know, but he's standing anywhere in that area where I was the other day. But yeah, there we go, guys. So Anthony Gordon is now officially a Newcastle United player.
He is.
So we'll get
sure
back to
is.
the comments.
And I wish him well. And
yeah, absolutely, John. Craig says, I can't wait for Gordon to start dishing out humble pie to his doubters. Absolutely. Wouldn't it be great if Anthony Gordon scored the winner against Everton? That sent them down. That would be absolutely karma, wouldn't it?
But really celebrate, though. I don't think
Goodison, no.
At
Goodison as well, John, it'll be.
Yeah. I tell you what,
remember,
Tony, I want to be there. I want to be there. I mean, look, at the end of the day, that'll be a hell of a shot if he did.
Yeah. Joel says, if Gordon comes, good fans will back him. If he doesn't, he will get critic, just the nature of any of us fans. And right, any player gets criticised if they don't play well. And we've done it before. Gareth says, afternoon both. I said on John's show yesterday, he wasn't my first choice, but how I trust his judgment. Absolutely, Gareth. Good afternoon to you, mate.
Exactly.
Jez says, I agree with you, Craig. Sefton says, I'm in hiding at the moment. I can't comment upstairs in the wardrobe. Oh, yes, because Sefton's wife's a Liverpool fan. And obviously, we all know Brighton have won again against Liverpool. They've done the double in a couple of weeks over Liverpool at the Amex. I mean, you know, the thing is, I've got a message for Liverpool. Get down to travel agent tomorrow and book a holiday because you can't beat Brighton at this time of the year. John hasn't clicked on yet.
Oh. No, sorry. Yeah,
I said they need to get down the travel agent and book a holiday because you can't beat Brighton at this time of the year.
Exactly. Sorry, I had it on mute as well, by the way. I do apologise. No, listen, right. I mean, the best place to stay at Brighton. Just get over. Well, you can't get a suntan anyway because it's not warm enough. But at the end of the day, right. I mean, best to stay on the beach. It's best to stay on the beach and just take a few weeks off there just to sort yourself out. Yes.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're all right. Chaz laughing at Sefton. Yeah. Troll says Freddy Krueger chasing you, Sefton. No, it's his wife. Because he had to watch the dots on the laptop.
Bless him.
Foxy says, Frederick, I can imagine they've been even more angry if they lost him on a free at the end of the season. Absolutely, Foxy. Thanks, Davey, says Leslie. Foxy says, a tune revival. It's a good point. British players get backed. Foreign player with no connection to the club gets slated, though. Yeah, that is true, I suppose, Foxy, to an extent. Yeah, I see what you mean. Paul says Brighton have just signed a young Swedish striker. Oh, right, okay. Keep an eye on that one. Nell says, can you see Newcastle making sense between now and Tuesday's deadline day, lads? Why is it taking so long? Niall, I can see them making signings. I could see them. Do you know what? It wouldn't surprise me. I would say at least one more coming in, but it wouldn't surprise me if another 2 or 3 walk through that door. If I'm all honesty, I think why it's took so long. I just think they've took that time in the window. Maybe they've done it deliberately, waiting towards the end of the window to get these players because, as I said earlier, sometimes you can do better deals towards the end because clubs are in a rush to get rid of players out the door. So I think that could be the reason why. But But I can see at least one more, if not 2. What about you, John? How many can you see between now and 11 p.m.? And that's excluding Ashby, by the way, because we know obviously he's going to be the next player in.
Probably get one more, probably in midfield. We definitely need a striker as well, badly. So I'm going to say 2 more, mid and a striker. It's going to have to be.
Turan's still available?
It's got to be, Tony, because still available. Turan's still available. Yeah, he's still available. Madison is gettable. If you offer this sort of money sort of thing, it's going to be difficult getting Alvarez or Corney because they need to get a replacement for those players as well, which is going to be tough. But other than that, if we can get one more in, maybe it's 2, I'll be over the moon. Midfield and striker.
Yeah. Troll says, I'll stop trying to be funny. Can't stop after all. It's Sefton. He says, Mrs. Sefton's not happy I'm staying well away until it's safe to come out. Just get your suit of armour on and you'll be all right, mate. It's all right. Just tell us, Sefton. Just say, just make it nice to her and just say, actually, let's watch the darts later because there is a Geordie involved. And, the guy I had on my show, Chris Dobie, he's through the semi-finals tonight. So, you could just say, well, watch a bit of history because you might see somebody from Newcastle win something. Donald says, Anthony Gordon's one for the present, but clearly he's a bigger one for the future. The kid has the world at his feet. Superb signing, he'll thrive in a happier environment with the superior players. Well said, Donald. Well said, mate. I mean, yeah, you're absolutely spot on with that. That's what I was saying earlier on.
He's right.
He's in a bad environment, and that's why he will excel better at Newcastle because the thing is, he's not going to have the pressure that he's got at Everton. And Everton are a poor side, and if you're a great player in a poor team, it's going to drag your performances down. And you're absolutely spot on with that comment, mate. And if you're new to the channel, mate, please smash the like and the subscribe. That'd be great.
Tony, can I say something?
Yeah.
I'll be quick. So, I mean, luckily, I'll tell you what, lucky Bielsa didn't go to Everton. You would make those players absolutely sick. I'm telling you. They would be training like never before. I mean, some of these players are along thinking it's like a holiday camp for Goodison, right? Bielsa would have come in and he would have made them absolutely sweat, absolutely peak, and absolutely sick as well. And they would not know what a flipping hitting, man. They're lucky.
Craig says, Casido's on 10 grand a week at Brighton with bonuses. No wonder he wants to move. Yeah. I've got a feeling Arsenal go back in. I think they'll sell him in the window. I still think he'll go to Arsenal.
I think he will.
Wayne says, hello, John.
Big up, Wayne. John.
Chris says, 3 million for Ashby's a bargain. He's a great prospect. West Ham are very unhappy to lose him. Yes, they are. They're not happy at all. Troll says, I get what Toon Revival's talking about because at some point we get fatigued. So we do need more experienced players too, in my opinion. Yeah, and it will all happen eventually. I mean, we probably weren't meant to be in the top 4 this season, but we are. We are where we are, and that's the fact of life. Foxy says, Casido should knuckle down, try and help Brighton win the cup. Leaving the summer, the problem is Arsenal are very popular in Ecuador, especially in his hometown, Santo Domingo. Kids with Henry shirts on. There you go. Yeah. Just talking to Les. Lee says, Eddie's the best manager in the league, doing fantastic. What a turn this year. One step from Wembley. Get in there, Tony and John. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah, Eddie Howe is done really well. Yes, he's the top English manager in the league at the moment. And he's going to be the top English manager for a long time yet. Especially if he extends his unbeaten run in the Premier League further. Then it's going to take... There's going to have to be another English manager that's better than Eddie Howe that does this, and I can't see one at the moment. Not even Graham Potter's better than Eddie Howe.
Definitely not.
And he's no wizard, Graham Potter, if he thinks he's Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Paul says, well, players are fit now. Maxi, Isak, so Joe Linton can go back in the middle and Longstaff or Willock could drop out. Then that makes the bench stronger with Gordon on the bench as well. Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, Tuesday, I do want to see Isak and ESM back in the team from the start. I want Willock and I want Wilson left out. That's no disrespect to the two guys, but I think Wilson's been well off the pace, apart from his assist against Fulham. But other than that, he's done nothing. Willock, yes, he had an okay game, but he wasn't his best the other night against Southampton. And I think these guys need to be taken out and the team just to be reshaken up a bit and a bit of a refresh. Because we saw the damage that Isak and ESM were causing Southampton. That resulted in Selector Carr getting his second yellow card and red card because of bringing down ESM. So we shall see. Donald says Ashby must be a good for player. Villa watch say he's shite. Do you know what it is, Donald? This Villa's watch. I mean, they're Muppets, whoever they are. Whoever's running that site are Muppets because everything they talk is a load of crap out of their mouths, and it's just good comedy value just to watch what they're saying. But that'll come back and haunt them. Don't you worry. Troll says, is there any shows on Toon Review later? I'm not 100% sure. You'll have to have a check that one out. But John has a show tonight, and we'll get into that shortly. Foxy says West Ham would have got around 275,000 if they let him leave in the summer. Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly.
Frederick says Neves is a priority for Barcelona to replace Busquets, although Xavi is more keen on Zubimendi. Yeah, I mean, it depends. I mean, we could go in the summer for Neves. It depends if Neves wants to go and play in the Liga. He might want to stay in the Premier League and prove it in the Premier League. Who knows? But we shall see in the summer because I don't think he'd be leaving this window. Toon says, so how many goals is Gordon going to score this season for us if he can somehow show he's better than Saint or even Murphy? Again, I've explained about Gordon. I'm not going to say how many goals he'll get this season because I'm not going to put a figure down. I think we'll just let the lad get on with his time at Newcastle and see how he develops for the rest of the season.
Exactly.
Next season will be the bigger season for him when it's his first full season. Jess says, West Ham fans rate Ashby quite highly. Some are disappointed they've let him go as they swear by his potential. Well, it's tough. He's on his way to the Toon. Are we the lads? Gordon doesn't score much. Again, Eddie Howe could change that. Wayne says, we could get Maddison right on deadline day. Look what happened with Carroll to Liverpool. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, exactly.
Robin Brady, good afternoon. He says, Neves all day long, as Boris says, oven ready, Premier League proven. Yeah, he is, Robin. Absolutely, mate. And yeah, who knows? But I would get Neves. If we'll not get him this window, but maybe in the summer when he's got 12 months left on his deal. Nice to see you on the channel, mate. If you're brand new, please hit the like and the subscribe. That'll be great. Thank you. And Donald says, don't think anyone here is Nostradamus, a Toon revival. Ches says Gordon isn't there to walk into the starting 11. He's there to add depth, which he certainly does. First at runs per 90, first at tackles in the final third at just 21. We need to support our player now. Well said, Ches. Well said, mate.
Thank you, Ches.
Biavaitan says John is going to be busy next 2 days. Earlier to Sassuolo. Yeah, that was a hell of a result for Sassuolo, wasn't it? I mean, what's going on at AC Milan?
I tell you what, we've seen lots of goals. 4 away to Lazio, and there you are. 5-2 home against Sassuolo. They're in trouble, Sassuolo, as well. I mean, they're fifth bottom, or fourth bottom as I speak. That's a massive result there for Sassuolo. I think they'll be all right this season. I think they're going to find a way to stop it up. I mean, look, they're just not having a good season at all whatsoever. But I hope Sassuolo stays up because they're a terrific club as well. A family club, and it needs a Sassuolo in Reggio Emilia. That's where they're based at. Not in Sassuolo, Reggio Emilia. and that's where the best at, like I said. And as a club, it needs that type of club in the football. So
Yeah. CD says a fish announcement on Gordon. Yeah, we've just seen that. Yeah, thanks very much, mate. Tune Revival, isn't Gordon's job to score goals and create? You can go and buy an idiot to do a shithousen. We need goals and assists as we lack that end product. That's what we should have bought a proven goal scoring wingers for. Again, we've said all we've said about Gordon. You know, let's give the lad a chance, Tune. Let's give the lad a chance. You know, let's not be negative about this. Let's be positive, because what's going on at Newcastle at the minute is all positive. Let's not be negative. So that's all I'm going to say on that. Paul says, club announced yet. Gary says, good evening, good afternoon, Gary. He says, the media know absolutely nothing. No, they don't. That's the thing, the media know nothing. Andrew, all right, lads? Yeah, we're fine, Andrew. Hope you're well, mate. Nice to see you. Donald says, I'm new to the Newcastle YouTube podcast scene. Who else would you recommend? Just subscribe, by the way. Thanks very much, Donald. Well, the guy that's sitting next to me, you can have a look at his channel, and you'll find out his channel when we come to the end of the show, because he'll explain it on so. And there's also the Toon Review, who's a great channel as well, and also PD. They're all great channels, and there's John's as well. But John will explain his at the end of the show, Donald. So stay tuned. And then give John a subscribe as well. Toon Review, yeah. Rock the Toon, good afternoon. He says, hi both. Good news on Anthony Gordon. So today's news on Harrison Ashby. Yeah, absolutely, mate. It's brilliant news, isn't it? And all these people who are panicking that we weren't getting anybody in, I did always say, keep the faith. I bet there's somebody's in by the end of the window. And I still said, excluding Qual, we'll get 3 in this window, and that's going to be 2. Who's the third one? Could it be Madison? Who knows? And nice to see you on the channel, Rock the Toon. And if you like what you see, please hit the like button and the subscribe. Thank you very much. Troll says, I need to put my glasses on. Grandad Shed, hi Grandad Shed. He says, Gordon was hounded out by his own fans. Give the lad a chance. He's not even kicked a ball for us. Absolutely, this is what I'm saying as well. Let's all back the guy. He needs to be backed, and I'm sure he could turn out to be a cracking signing. And nice to see you on, mate. And yeah, thank you very much. Please hit the like and subscribe. Andrew says, I'm awake. Sorry, Leslie does. Knight says, also, you don't know what promises were made to him. If he stayed, they may not have fulfilled on the promises to him. That's the thing. Nobody knows anything, do they? Donald says, love Gordon's introductory video. He's going to be a star. Yeah, absolutely. You beat the doctor yet, Les? Okay. Yerry Mina didn't stay away from training, says Foxy. Well, yeah.
he didn't.
No. But there again, Yerry Mina may be a bit harder than what Gordon is. You don't know, do you? Because we got out of his Jeep. Chaz saying to Donald. Toon says, then you're deluded, the pair of you. There is known the difference, like to your right, when you're just showing you both have no morals and you only back anyone who's going to the castle. Right, hang on a minute, Toon. Hang on. I'm not deluded. John's not deluded, for a starters, right? We do know the difference, but we're giving this lad a chance. Eddie Howe can see the potential in him. I read the statement that Eddie Howe put out just before there. If you didn't hear the statement, I'll read the statement again to you so you can hear exactly what Eddie Howe has got to say about Anthony Gordon. And if you think we're deluded, go and tell Eddie Howe he's deluded as well. I'm delighted to sign Anthony. He's a top talent. I'm really excited to work with him, to develop him. And I'm also looking forward to seeing what he can do in a Newcastle shirt. So if you think me and John are deluded, Toon, you better go and tell Eddie he's deluded in as well. Because, you know, he's the manager. He knows what he's talking about. He gets paid the mega bucks. He knows what he's doing. So please don't come on your slating people, because at the end of the day, football's about opinions. We all have our own opinions of things, and we'll back anybody who comes into the club. Simple as. But if they don't turn out to be great players, then yeah, okay, fair enough. They're not great players, but let's give people a chance. So, if anybody in the comments thinks I'm wrong what I'm saying, but I don't think I am. I think I'm totally right what I'm saying. What do you say to that, John? Because I think that's just a stupid comment, really.
Well, everyone's got opinions, that's fine. But at the end of the day, that comment is uncalled for. I think that's wrong. And listen, at the end of the day, right, we're the real ones, Tony. We're the real people. Me, you, Toon Review, PD Proudlock, Loading Mag. Yeah, let's be real, right? If you don't want to agree with our comments, then the best is just walk away or just don't say it out. Because at the end of the day, right, we're just back. We're just back. We're not going to sit there, right, taking defeats. We just say how it is, on this channel or anyone's channel. If you don't like a channel, don't ask the question. Simple as that. Better say out. Or, better still, just don't watch us.
Yeah. Stephen says, hi, lad. Chernobyl's in better nick than Everton.
Another thing is, Tony, right? Did he make him come on our channel? Did he tell him to come on our channel? Did he make him watch us? That's another thing.
No, that's it,
I'm not saying any more than that.
Wayne says, Everton fans should be ashamed of themselves. Don't blame Gordon wanting to get away from that club, threatening his family. That's an all go. Absolutely.
Absolutely, Wayne. Big up.
Troll says, one of those. Jez made a howler for me, never going back there. Band Toon Revival says, beer. Yeah. Toon Revival, please don't resort to name calling. It's all about opinion, says Ches. Thank you very much, Ches. Thanks to Ches and Trolls. Love Toon Review and this channel too. Thank you very much, Donald.
Big up, Donald. Thank you.
Knight says, a Toon Revival seems like you're in the minority. Seems to me the majority of fans are willing to give him a chance. Plus, no need for personal attacks. If you don't like the opinion, that's fine. Thanks very much again, Kong. Chaz says, welcome to the family, mate. To Donald. Rock the Toon says, fastest striker in the league this season. Well, he was until Mudrick come to the Premier League, but he's second fastest, Anthony Gordon. I nearly called him Craig Gordon there. Jesus, he's a goalkeeper.
Oh, man.
And then he done a Sinclair. Troll says, hope it all goes well, Les. Knight says, Ashby's a first team ready, but he wasn't getting chances at West Ham, so most probably he's chosen to leave. Yeah, that's probably the thing. And he'll probably get chances. Troll says, you need to change the latest dressing room photo, Tony. I can see Chris Wood in this one.
Yeah.
I promise I will. I'll do it after Tuesday, mate, when we get through the final. That's it. I'm not changing it through superstition now. I'm not changing it after Tuesday. So you'll have to get used to it for a few more days, mate. I hope you get fixed. Fingers crossed, let's get it sorted. Yep, that's the talking of Leslie. Yeah, wishing you all looking hope you're well there, Leslie. Knight says, love the fact people last week kicking off at no signs. Now we are meeting them, they're still not happy. Think we should take their faces for a shit. Some people will never be happy. That's exactly what Paul would say. Video on my channel of my tour at St James's Park, says Rock the Toon. Fantastic. I'll have to check it out, mate. And yeah, I done one the other day, and I done a live show the other day about it when I came back home. So you have to check that out. Joel says hat-trick for Gordon, would be lovely. Chris says Gordon looks a lot happier wearing black and white, even if his hair looks better. Agree, John. Let's wish him well and back him, says Ian. Yeah, absolutely. Davey says, watch the Hearts game. Call Mr. Sittler a few minutes after coming on the second half. Played okay that for a full second half. Yeah, he's only a young lad. He's got to get used to it, hasn't he? See, a lot of fans have a go. Other fans were doubting Gordon, but sure, a lot of fans were not a fan of Wood. Also, if someone has a different opinion, then don't attack them. Thanks very much, Paul.
Correct.
Liverpool can't beat Brighton at any time. No. Maybe Brighton are Liverpool's day. Yeah, absolutely.
You know what it is, Tony? I watched that game today, right? And Liverpool, if Liverpool play like that, we should not be scared of Liverpool at all whatsoever. got no worries about beating this team on 24th, and I hope that we beat them.
No, absolutely.
Absolutely smash them.
Yeah.
Huh.
Right. Liverpool currently on the nudist beach at Brighton, the only place they can go and get their pants pulled down. So it's Donald. That's brilliant, mate. Well done, Wells.
There you go, man.
Paul, these are the same people that slated Wood for months and are the same people saying trust the owners. Every sign has to be a success. People need to stay consistent. Absolutely. I've said to you, not everybody gets things right. I mean, look at Harry Maguire. Not worth £80 million, but Man U went out and paid it.
Exactly.
Enough said. Donald says, just not McTominay. He's really awful. No, I don't think he's coming.
Definitely not.
Not McTominay. He might stay now if Ericsson's got an injury.
True.
Club has announced Gordon. Done a little video as well. Yeah. Thanks, Paul. I think some fans are expecting more bigger signings will happen in the summer, says Paul. Yeah, absolutely. January is an expensive month. That's the problem. I think it's Tillemans tomorrow, says Howie. I don't think it is. I think they saw these performance against us in the Carabao Cup and said, not touching him with a barge pole. Don't want Dom. Pervert screwing. Chaz says, great comment on Gordon at Donald. Yeah. And he says, thanks to Chaz. Kong says, everyone keeps forgetting about this Jamaican youngster who's on trial as well. He's going to be another sign this window. Yeah, absolutely. Dujan, yeah. The Jamaican youngster, Dujan Whisper Richards, is an exceptional talent that we need to sign. I'm sure we'll have a good look at him and then make a decision. Kong says, also don't forget we signed Qual this window, so we've actually been really busy. Yeah. Jesse is a Kong. What's his name, mate? I wasn't even aware of that. What, Dujan Richards? And he's a wonder kid, 6'4". Mason says John shows the Man United review from the game last night.
I know they won 3-1, didn't they? That what's his name, Casemiro. What?
Yeah.
What a player, him.
Yeah, but anybody can look good against Reading, John.
I know. That's when we put him in his place when we face him in the Wembley, though.
Ches says to Mason, laughing, not funny, cough, cough, amen.
Oh, man.
Paul says, Toon Revival, you got to look at this in a way. Matt Ritchie is on the bench or Gordon. Yeah, absolutely. Well said, Paul. We should have kept Qual. Isn't he playing at Hearts? Yeah, he is playing. Yeah, he came on today. Mr. Sitter, says Paul. Qual played a full second half, says Les. Yeah. Richards is a beast. Throw him in. Exceptional. Well, we'll see. Can't believe the softness towards Gordon. These ungrateful fans deserve Ashley back, says Craig. I totally agree with you, mate. Absolutely. Kong says, in that case, he'll fit right in at Newcastle. Then if he's missing sitters. Didn't watch, but Davey said apart from the miss, he had a canny game. I saw a little bit of it and I thought he played all right, to be fair. Foxy says, because I believe the Gordon signing was overpriced, doesn't mean I want him back, support him. How more than capable of developing him into a good player. Also won't be biased in his defending his actions recently. Yeah. Foxy says, the fan base needs to stop this bullying mentality of forcing people into thinking one way or the other. Yeah. Tanji says, some stats for everyone here. Last 10 years, fourth place has accumulated 66 to 76 points to qualify. So we only need another 27 to 37 points from our last 18 games. That's a great stat, Tanji. And you know what? That's achievable, mate. Absolutely. Paul says, just remember how many people thought Joe Linton was overpriced. Now look at him. How's done his magic? Exactly, Paul. That's the thing. He couldn't hit a barn door. He was useless as a striker. We wanted him out the club. But look at him now. He's probably now worth double what we paid for him. I was one then, but over the moon to be proven wrong, says Ches. Yeah. Kieran Clark's not in the squad for the FA Cup game against Hollywood FC, Wrexham. No, I think he's out injured, I think. I'm not sure. Unless they're resting him for the championship. We're all said we are playing with 10 men and Joe Linton behind when Bruce was in charge. Yeah. Totally agree. Ashby not cup tie, could be on the bench Tuesday, says Rock the Tune. Yeah, that's a good point, isn't it? I think he has played, in the Carabao Cup this year. I'll tell you guys, if you just bear with me 1 minute, I'll tell you. No, he hasn't played in the EFL Cup, so yes, he can be on the bench on Tuesday. There we go. Good to hear, Davey. I watched instead the FA Cup game, but I'll know for next time, says Leslie. Mason says, you're not wrong, Tony. Thanks, Mason. Paul says, just seen pictures of Gordon meeting the players as always. Miggy with a massive smile. Yeah. At least he's got full half this time, says Davey. Spot on. 100% he's been slated for years on Twitter saying Joe Linton and Miggy, under the right coach, they have the ability to be good players for us. Now they may be our most consistent players, lol, says Foxy. Yeah. Totally and utterly agree with you on that one as well, Foxy. I think Gordon is crap, not helping his so-called boyhood club. I couldn't see Longstaff doing that, says Howie the lads. Again, thing is, Everton's not going to turn the money down. That's the thing, Howie the lads. You got to look at that. Everton need the money. Agree, Davey, but he's been poorly, hasn't he? Yes, there were 5 hearts regulated, not playing due to illness. You can see short to that list under Bruce never got a chance, but look at him now. Yeah, totally agree. Ches says, yeah, just seen your comment. I was scrolling. Mason says, Tony, you thought of having mods to remove our people's comment, like what that guy's been doing. Yeah, when the show ends, guys, if you want to become a mod, then just leave a message at the end of the show when the stream finishes, and then I can add you as moderators. So that'd be great. Thank you very much for that, Mason. And that goes for, I think, Ches as well, or Trolls, whoever wants to be a mod. Just leave me a message at the end of the show when the show's completely finished. Once the stream finishes altogether, and then I can add you. Trolls, I always say the positivity in your comments. Ches talking others. People are right for slating Wood, though. He's shite. That's we're the lads. Well, we're going to get 15 million from him, so let's hope. Anyone see Carroll trying to wipe out all the Man U players for us yesterday? Yeah. When we get to Wembley, how many tickets will we get? For me, Newcastle will fill Wembley. We would fill Wembley if it was just us, but unfortunately, after all the corporates get tickets, we'll get what's left. So they'll get half between us and Man United. Unless Forest do the impossible and go there and win 4-0, maybe. Stranger things have happened. Would miss more sitters than a blind 80-year-old woman would do. Andrew says, no way, Mr. Comedy. I'd rather have Malcolm McDonald, 72. Seen that Jamaican kid on YouTube. Can't judge a player off YouTube. Well, that's Dennis Weiser, because he did, didn't he? And was signed them when he was absolutely crap. Gonzalez.
Shit.
With 18 games left, another 30 to 32 points out of 54 to qualify. Yeah, absolutely tangy. And so, guys, we'll come to the end of the show now. And fortunately, I'm not going to get through all your comments, but thanks for your comments, guys. I mean, it's absolutely brilliant. He says he didn't know Modric was faster. Yeah, he is, Wayne. Yeah, so, John, do you want to tell everybody where they can find you, and especially Donald as well?
Yeah, thanks so much for having us, Tony, and chat as well. I should be on the show. I'll tell that in a bit. Yeah, if you find us on TikTok, on Facebook, on also YouTube, it's John Sinclair TV. And if you go on to Instagram, it's John Sinclair 50 or lower cases. And on Twitter, John_NUFC 42. And if you follow us, I'll follow you back. And also, I've got a show coming up at 6 o'clock. I'm going to do the preview show the day before the match, but tonight I'm going to do the preview between Newcastle and Southampton. I've got you, hopefully Rowley, and I've got a new guest on for just half an hour as well. She's a Newcastle fan. Stephanie Burt is coming on as well, so she'll be coming on for half an hour as well. So to talk about Newcastle United. And if you like what you see, just give us a subscribe, hit the subscribe button, please. And I've got 4,280 odd, and I'm on the road to 4,300 people. So just do your thing, and come on my channel at 6 o'clock tonight.
Yeah, thanks very much, John. I mean, Foxy's just said there, Uwe got hammered off Monza 2-0.
Not only that, they've done the double over us as well. So it's not been a great few weeks to Juve, by the way. They drew 3-6 against Atalanta at home, and they lost at home to Monza. And I tell you what, the club is in an utter mess. And look, that's what you get for cheating. I'm not going to lie, but hey, I mean, they need to fix up very, very quickly. Otherwise, they could start the season unlikely start seeing Serie A B. But yeah, it is what it is, Tony.
Paul says, I've got my hotel reserved for Wembley. Even if I don't get a ticket, I'm still going down for the atmosphere. Lee says, let's get behind Gordon. He'll do well. Absolutely. Andrew says, 35,000 tickets each for League Cup final clubs.
Is that been confirmed, Tony? Is that been confirmed? 35k?
I don't know, but Andrew knows. Alan says, great show, Tony and John, the likely lads. Thank you very much. Great show, says Trolls. I love us saying Chiesa, says, how are you, the lads? Yeah, I would love him as well.
Oh, man.
What a player.
Please. Yeah.
And see you later on TTR. People says, Trolls.
Jules, got something there. Jules, what about my show at 6 o'clock landing?
Wayne says, great show, lads. See you later. Hey? Yeah. Great show. Add me as a mod, Mr. Tony. I will do as I say after the show ends completely, then leave a message. Trolls, gonna watch Gordon interview after this. Cheers, Tony and John, says Ian. Thanks very much, Ian. Foxy says, have a good Sunday, everyone. See you next week. See you later, Foxy. Rock the Tune. Thank you, Tony and John. Good show. See you later, John. Thank you very much. Rock the Tune.
Thank you so much indeed.
And Troll says, I'm sorry, John, I'm going there too as well. So there you go. Lee says, do you think Newcastle will pull a big screen in the ground for the final? I don't know. I'm not sure. But that'd be interesting, that. Do you know what? Because it would fill the stadium for that. Who knows? But it's one to watch, I suppose. But yeah. Do you know what, Lee? You could even email the club and just ask them. That might be a good idea. But not just you email the club. Get thousands of fans to email the club, and then it might put pressure on the club to do it. And I didn't say that, by the way, so don't get me into trouble. Is it Tuesday? Yes, says Andrew. No, Andrew, it's Sunday, mate. Until for another few hours yet, mate, and then it'll be Monday. So, guys, yeah, you can find me on TonyTony31 on Twitter. Follow me then, I'll follow you back. Also, you can find me on my channel where you're on now. Please smash the likes. It really does help the channel up the search results. Makes the channel found more easily as well. So, yep, if you can smash those likes, that'd be absolutely fantastic. Also, if you're brand new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button. It's free to do so. Helps the channel grow. I'm currently on 329 subscribers at the moment, so I'm 21 away from 350. And I've only been going since October, so I've only been going just over 3 months. Also, hitting the bell notification tells you when I'm live, have a pre-record or any upcoming shows. So smash that bell as well, and that'll tell you when I've got any shows coming up. I've got my next 2 shows here marked anyway, so if you've got your bell on, you already know you've been notified for them. But Troll says 50p entrance fee would be possible for almost anyone, plus some more money to the club. Yeah, absolutely, Trolls. Later, Trolls. Rock says, better than me, Tony. I'm sure you'll get there, mate. I'll give you a sub, don't worry, mate. I'm sure John will. PDK, are you worried about the lack of depth in midfield? I think we need that number 6, really. But all in all, when you think how well we've done so far this season, I'm not too worried. If we can get through the rest of the season with what we've got now, and then have a big summer, then I'll be happy with that. I hope that answers your question. Are you worried about the depth, John?
We could do another midfield at 110%. We need a cover for Sean Longstaff, and no disrespect in this competition, and Willock as well. We need a Stellan midfield, like a CDM. And yes, Andrew, I am there. And yeah, we need that as well. And we could do another striker. We can get those 2 players come through the door. That'd be absolutely amazing. We definitely need a midfield striker.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah. So, on what's been another fantastic weekend at Newcastle, we look forward to the match on Tuesday evening. Yeah, that's another 48 hours, by the way, Andrew. Foxy says, yearly transfer deadline question just done. One Benteke.
I tell you, I've got to, right? I mean, a couple of years ago on the Horse with the Tune on Porsche channel, once upon a time, I said that, if I remember says this rightly, even Benteke is better than Joe Linton, right? And then I got absolutely slated for that, man, you know? I pulled by, I forget, it's Billy at a time, and Proudlock as well. I got absolutely slated in the chat as well. But Benteke, nah, not for me. Nah.
Rob says, thank you, mate. I think I've got John already. No worries, mate.
Thank you.
I'll give you a sub after the show. Great show, Tony and John, says Chris. Thank you very much, Chris, as always. Paul says, very good afternoon, Tony and John. Just been sharing YouTube channels on social media sites. Thank you very much, Paul, for all your support, mate.
Thank you, Paul.
Canny photo chairs. See you later, Paul and Andrew. Thank you, mate. Yeah, guys, so if you leave your message at the end when the show finishes, then I can add you on. But yeah, but it's been another great show. Thank you very much, guys. And we're off now. And we will see you later on at John's show at 6 o'clock for the preview against Southampton on Tuesday night at St James's Park, live on Sky. So all I've got to say is enjoy whatever you're doing for the rest of the day, and have a great Sunday, what's left of it. And see you later, guys. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.
Okay, guys.